Hello, Mr. Neron here. Welcome to Trespasser or Jurassic Park The Lost World. Trespasser, a game from 1998. This is a mod actually that I downloaded today. It's a huge mod at 700 plus megabyte. So, as an example, the previously biggest mod that I've seen for the mod, when it's combined with the engine and all the stages, we're at 400 something megabyte. This is at 700, but it incorporates, I believe, all the original stages plus two uncut stages, and then they have been changed so that they have a lot of new balancing, new weapons, new items, new dinosaurs, two bosses have been added, and the dialogues have been fully integrated from the original plans. I believe the creator has read the walkthrough of the original 1997 game, and then re-added stuff that we added in the actual 1998 release of the game. It's like 1997 they released I believe a walkthrough or no a strategy guide in which everything was pointed out, and then when the game was released it had cut a lot of stuff and changed stuff because the developers were supposed to release the game together with the movie Lost World Jurassic Park, and that movie released in 1997. And so they were already a bit late when it released in 1998 game, so they were not allowed to continue their development and had to cut a lot of features because they had a deadline and couldn't make everything in time. It's like the company wanted them to finish the game when the movie released in 1997, and they were not allowed to continue too far beyond the movie. So the fact that it even released in 98 shows that it was delayed a little bit. And yeah, they didn't get the time they needed to add all the features. So, and also I believe that some of the stuff were cut because the game. So back then I remember that it took forever to load between the stages. Now it may take maybe 5 seconds or less to load between a stage, but back then it took like 10 minutes to load on a Windows 95 computer. The game was for a Windows 98 computer, of course, but I played it on a Windows 95 and it worked, but it had like 10-minute loading times. It took forever, and it was very slow and laggy in some areas of the game. It was possible to play it. It just were very demanding on the computers at the time. So this is a mod at 700 plus megabit, and we have like two cut stages that have been restored. We have two new bosses, we have balance for the weapons, for the dinosaurs, and we have new puzzles, and we have additional terrain, etc. I believe a lot of fixing too. So it's like the ultimate version of the game, and I've never played it before in this state. So this mod aimed to patch the game and fix bugs and issues in the beginning, but became a much bigger mod where they added the uncut. They added the cut stuff, made it uncut. So it's an uncut version of the Jurassic Park Trespasser, or the Lost World Trespasser. And I played the original game many times, but I've never finished it. I only played like maybe 5 levels or so of the original game. Played the first level a million times, and the second level also a lot of times. But anything after the second level, I believe I played fewer times. I played at least a bit beyond Indian, I believe. The Indian city, I remember doing it when I was a kid. Played with friends, we took turns sitting at the computer and playing. So, but it was fun. You know, it's like a mix between a adventure and a survival horror game. You have the dinosaurs, carnivores and herbivores, and the carnivores will try to kill you, and you have guns and other stuff to defend, but you have very limited shots, so you need to be good at hitting the dinosaurs in the first few shots, or you run out of bullets and you will be eaten, and you need to restart from an earlier save. You need to save a lot in the game. I never played this version, but I played the original, and I tried some mods in 2021. This is a new one. It was first released in March 2025, and latest update was released on July 27th, 2026, so about 12 days ago. I don't know how much sound we will have. Maybe we should be slightly louder. Let's start the game. We might want to change this later. We'll put it on max now for the intro video. Let's start the game.
You're trying to reach is unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone.
Ann, are you there? It's Jill. Pick up the phone. God, don't tell me your mom was serious. You're in Costa Rica? Visiting the natives, huh? Sun, sand, and adventure? My little Indiana Ann, world traveler extraordinaire. Well, give me a call when you get back, okay? By the way, I thought you hated flying.
Auxilio, este es el vuelo CR-17. Hemos perdido poder en un motor. ¡Estamos cayendo!
This took 10 minutes at least on a Windows
God.
95.
This can't be happening. We hit the water like... Marquez? Marquez! Where am I?
Alright. I've seen an even more beautiful version of this when I played the Isla Sorna mod. It was like a mix between... they made it open world and combined the first 3 levels into one giant open world level. It was in March, I believe it released in January 2021, and I read about it in a news update on Trespasser .com, I believe. The modding site for Jurassic Park Trespasser, and on that site I read about it in March or so 2021, downloaded it. Or I did it a few months after, but it was posted on March, or in March. So we can hear when we move over vegetation, etc. We have certain sound. I believe in the original game we had that, but not everywhere. But the modder, that Zeno guy, he has added sound everywhere now. So it's like more polished. And Isla Sorna mod that combined 3 levels into one was unfinished, of course, because the original game has like 8 levels, and this version, for example, has added the 2 missing levels, increasing the levels from 8 to 10 levels. Then, if I'm not mistaken, that the original game had 8 levels. I think it had 8 levels, and the Isla Sorna mod was supposed to combine the game.
It's beautiful here. Must be one of the offshore islands. Cocos, One of the Cinco Muertes, maybe.
So, unlike that one, this is more like the original game. You have different stages, it's not open world, and one big difference with the one that combined the stages was that it had a lot of vegetation everywhere, and this hill was changed. So that you could essentially walk to the area with the guns. Right here, you could essentially move past the training area that we are entering about now. Hope he hasn't added more raptors in the beginning here before we get wet, but then we will be fucked. We'll see. I know in the original game that the resolution was so bad that we couldn't even read the text properly on the barrels. So I have an arm we can move around and pick up stuff with. And the health bar is that heart right there on the breast. It becomes red and when we are close to dying. So we have essentially used this part of the body and that one arm. We have no more. So that the idiot, which is a user, a mother.
Dear diary, plane has crashed on deserted island. Will die a lonely death. Well, I gotta go. Anne.
I saw that the idiot, one of the modders, he had added an entire body for one of his mods, I believe an earlier build of Return to Jurassic Park, or it was something else, but it had like an entire female model instead of just this body and the arm. That could be a good mod. Someone finishes the body and adds legs and a second arm and a head. You can cheat so that you can see your entire body and it looks like just stomach and an arm, nothing more essentially. That mod had an entire female body. I'm not used with this sound because I believe it wasn't really added to most of the vegetation in the original game. So when I hear this sound I instead think it's a raptor or something moving around, but it isn't. Usually there were sound and they ran around to warn you of dinosaurs being nearby. But yeah, this is not as impressive as Isla Zona mod that had multiple new vegetation and trees and such. This looks more like the original game, but it was intended to look like the original game, so it's not that surprising. But this one is totally standalone and can essentially play the entire game with all the new additions, etc. And I believe it will be a much better experience than the original game. We'll check some areas before leaving this area. Can move up here, for example. So on ESC we can save the game. You need to name the save. So this one is totally separate from my other installation of Trespasser. I installed in 2021 on an old HDD drive. This one is on an SSD. We jump on Q. It's the same game. It's just interesting to see what they have added here that wasn't in the original game. So we can these things down. Have proper sound. You can grab them by pressing the right button. Few barrels. They are heavy, so you cannot carry them too much. They are heavy. Oops. No, I'm back on X, not on S. On S I move forward actually. But I think S I move forward like I walk. On X I move backward slowly. And on V I move faster forward. I'm used to back on S. That's why I almost fell down there. Used to that in other games. Been a while since I played this. I haven't played this game and mods for it since 2021. But I fell down. We got hurt. You can see on the heart there. We got hurt. I don't know if there are any surprises in these areas. I know that in the original game that there are no dinosaurs in these parts, but we don't know that here.
8 shots.
We have only 8 shots.
Heavier than I thought.
Then on
Keep
E.
it steady.
Then E. You can move it to the back and pick up a different weapon. We have these choices. One is more rare.
8 shots.
We pick up that one. Then we can switch them out.
8 shots.
We need to hold one out of the 2.
8 left.
Cannot pick up any more, sadly. So this is walking speed. And this is running speed. I walk on S. And move backwards on X. I could shoot at these things, but it would waste shots. A little bit weird that the guns are neatly placed out like this for someone to pick up. Would have been more realistic if they had put them on the ground randomly in the grass. Okay, so we are likely to drop the gun too if we try to move out here. Yeah, we'll drop
8 left.
it. So as I remember, we needed to lift some barrels. Get out, maybe. But I think I was able in the past to just... Either we needed to put a barrel here and then jump up there and then out, or we could just squeeze through. I think we could do that, yes. This is a new version of the old game. I am not certain that they haven't added dinosaurs earlier in the stage, so we need to be a bit careful. In the original game we do not have any carnivores until the end of the area, near an area that you need to jump up on something, but here I don't know. Here I have a jeep. You cannot drive any cars in this game. You can go down to like this. You can crunch.
Engine. some kind of... Wait. International Genetic Technologies. That was the company from the dinosaur trial. After the trial, that old guy, John Hammond, wrote a book. He said it was somewhere in Central America. Oh no. Oh God. This is Site B. This is John Hammond's Lost World.
So these graphics were extremely good back when the game released. We had never seen anything like this. This game was before its time. It was so good in graphics that it could hardly run on the computers at the time. Lagged a lot on Windows 95 and had like 10-minute loading screens, like I said, but if you played it on Windows 98, it probably ran a little bit better, but it was still too demanding, even for the computers that it was made for. That's why it's sold so badly, because...
I knew all along this was a stupid idea. There must have been something in the memoir.
My name is John Parker Hammond. I was born on March 14th, 1928.
Hammond? Right.
What follows is a record of certain events in which I took part between the years 1980 and 1997 on an island I will call Site B.
Oh, God. Something like 30 people died here. Professional hunter types, mercenaries.
Site B was not to be a theme park, but a research station. This was where we did the real work.
Alright, so I recall all these things. This game was really demanding at the time. Really demanding. We had never seen anything this good looking. I recall there was a gun here. Can drop the gun by clicking on the right button.
Around 10? Oh, ready to rock.
Pick up this instead. We can see a
And you never even have a
Brachiosaurus
gun.
there.
Except Dad's. On a dare.
Had to drop the other gun. This weapon is better. Rifle. One is a baby, I believe, and one is an adult. I think one is smaller.
Oh, man. He really did it.
Brachiosaur, oldest of our recreations by 50 million years. The only true Jurassic native.
So these dinosaurs looked extremely realistic back then. We had never seen as good models on a computer in a computer game before. They were really amazing, impressive back then, and there were no open world games, so the fact we could move around like this, like in an open world, was new too. This game was very revolutionary and before its time, but it could hardly run on the software or hardware at the time, and it was unfinished. You could still play it, but there were multiple things that they had to cut, made the game a worse experience than what they had promised in the strategy guide that released. And if you look on the like fat cover of the game with CD, you could also see that there were a lot of cool features, like dinosaurs would step into buildings and hunt you like they did in the movies, and none of that was in the actual game. They were like scenes in on the cover of the game of raptors inside buildings hunting the player, and you had like a T-Rex moving in with half its body into a building too. None of that was in the game. It looked way more impressive on the cover, and it was in-game art. It wasn't F&B art. So they cut a lot of stuff that should have been in the game, and it probably would have been in the game if it weren't for two reasons. One reason was that the hardware, as I said, was too weak at the time, so they had to cut some stuff because they simply couldn't make it on the computers back then. Like, for example, they also planned originally to have an open world like this, but without the areas being separated by stages. You see, you have a large stage, and then you enter the end of the stage, and then they have a loading screen that took 10 minutes back then. Now it takes like a few seconds, and then the next stage starts. That is also a large area. In the original plans, they wanted an open world game where there are no loading screens between the areas, and where everything is open world, like the Isla Zona mod tried to do. Where they did essentially just combine the 3 first stages into one big stage. That's the original plan, I believe, for this game, to have it one big world with 8 stages being instead one stage, but it was possible back then to do that, and it was too much for the computers and for the engine, I believe, and because they weren't allowed to, because they were not allowed to failed. Let's drop the weapon then and move these in place.
It's 9.
This will of course be more difficult as we need to finish the puzzles that have been restored. The puzzles in this game are usually difficult because of how the physics work. Annoying to do. Wasted a shot as well. I think the resolution here is of course better than in the original game, so it looks kinda good for this old game. However, the Isla Zona mod looked even better because they added a lot of new vegetation and stuff. I want to play it again. As long as we have full screen, it would be cool. I've never finished it. I finished the first stage pretty much, and then I played the second stage but lost and ended up beginning of the stage at the end. Because you could go back to the older stages. In this version you cannot.
8. 7.
This was impressive back then, like state of the art graphics back in 1998. Like there were no games with an open world like this. And it models this good. Now they look dated. But it's a really cool game for 1998. With far too few dinosaurs. I read somewhere that you can can only have like 6 dinosaurs active in one area at any time. The game can't handle more, and that's of course a problem. It would be cool otherwise to just fill out the areas with herbivores everywhere, so it doesn't look as empty, and then add a few more of the carnivores as well. Of course, in that Zona mode they managed to add more dinosaurs in every area, but not too many. But still enough to be an improvement.
7 shots.
But the main improvement there is that they made an open world where there are no loading screens between the areas. The only problem is that they had only finished the first 3 stages. It wasn't the entire game, and that another benefit is that they have way more vegetation, so you have less of the empty hills and mountains like this, and more trees and vegetation everywhere. It looked more impressive, but this one has 8 stages in one package, so, and that one had 3 stages in one package. So I guess that if you use 3 stages in total, combine them into an open world area, that you still have room for more vegetation and trees and such than if you have 8 stages and separate them with loading screens like in the original. And this version also added 2 extra stages that were cut, the Plantation House and the Pine Valley, that I've never played ever. There are 2 extra areas. In this area that we enter now, we will face a raptor. It's the only raptor in this area. So those guys make the entire area tremble. I still think it looked cool. So the game is a bit scary because it's
Maybe if there's a phone line or a radio.
Because it was supposed to be a horror game.
God,
Survival
someone's
horror.
gotta come get me.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a survival horror game in the beginning, but then the engine didn't really work well with that. It became more of an exploration game. They still have some survival horror elements. So, but because there are so few dinosaurs on each level, you are never really in much action. It's more of an exploration game. But whenever you have a raptor somewhere, like over there, for example, then they really do try to kill you, and you have only a few shots to kill them, and if you fail, you are as good as dead. You cannot take too many bites from the raptor. There is a raptor over there. It's been a while since I played. I might actually miss the raptor.
8 left.
Prefer this weapon with the actual... here we have some kind of cross. You can see where we have where we will shoot. You're supposed to go up that thing over there. So as kids we were really scared of these raptors, etc., because they surprise you and have these annoying sounds that make them sound more dangerous than they are essentially. But yeah, it was supposed to be a survival horror game. That's why the game has some survival horror elements. And we need to kill that dinosaur over there.
So So that's what that food
Fucker.
I'm fine.
Fuck.
I'm fine. Oh, God. Who would have thought that I could do that?
Right, so they have way more comments now, I think, than in the original. And I saw 2 episodes of a Let's Play on YouTube by the idiot, and he played the original game, but he had enabled new features in the original game. For example, after he killed the Raptor here and another Raptor on the second stage, the Raptor weren't dead like this. Instead, the Raptor did some sounds, like if it was hurt, etc., and then it dies. It's like it had death animations with head and sounds. It would move its head and body like it's hurt, and then it would make sounds as if it had been shot. So it was more immersive, essentially. They removed that from the original game, and it seems to not be in this mod. But I believe that the idiot is using the same CE engine, and that it's a feature in the CE engine that can be re-enabled to make the dinosaurs essentially sound. They will make sounds, etc., after they have been shot and won't die immediately. It's more realistic, but also a bit more grim. Another cool thing was that when you shoot them, they have blood splatter. That was the case in the past as well. And there will be blood on the ground too. Don't know why we have sound. Why we have sound like there are more raptors here. Sounds like there is a raptor here.
Velociraptor, a small theropod native to China and Mongolia. Pack hunter, quite vicious and quite intelligent.
Velociraptors. The killers.
Sounds like there are more here. What? Deer. There is a raptor over there. The problem with this game too is that sound from phones and raptors, etc., sounds like it's coming straight from the main characters. It's closer than the actual model. It's like the sound sounds more close, which makes the game a bit more scary, because back then they didn't have the ability to give the actual NPC models sound. Instead, the sound is given in the same way you get the voice lines from the character, and that's why that raptor over there sounds like it's way closer than it is. And as you can hear, it's the same sounds as from the Lost World movie, and yeah, it's the sounds essentially that made the game scary. Sure, the raptors looked very realistic too back in the day.
7 shots.
Maybe we'll use the rifle. Wonder if there are more than one too. Yeah. Here it is. In the original game there was a raptor behind that stone over there. Here it's over there. maybe there are two. Or they moved it a little bit. I think yeah, that's the one. I remember the one over there. That one was always in the game. The one over there is new. There were only one in the original. Now there are two. Making it more dangerous. This is why this version is a little bit more interesting. Because you expect some of them, but then they might have re-added some that weren't there in the past. Oh, there's a third one. Unless it's the same as the other, but we can clearly see that there are two. Might be three. I know that the original game only had one, so this one is dangerous. In comparison, I don't want to waste shots neither. I want them to come closer. If this game had been more modern, I believe that it would have been more impressive. Then they could have had way more than just 6 dinosaurs in the same area. And the areas would be less empty. And also the grass, etc. would have looked better. I saw that the idiot had made a version that had an HD where everything looked very modern. It's still limited, I believe, to 6 dinosaurs in an area. Unless I'm wrong, but I think it was still limited. But it looked way more beautiful. We'll have to try that too. The reason I tried this one is because it's the original game but enhanced, and because it was an easy extract, download the folder, extract it anywhere on the computer and launch it through the exit file, and it worked. The others I will need to launch the mods individually and use an older setup that worked on Windows 7, but I don't know if it will work now. 2 Raptors next to each other. Yeah, it certainly was the sounds especially that made this game scary as a kid. Because they are closer to you than the actual raptor. The game also had like different modes for the dinosaurs, like they could eat, they could like do different behaviors, eat, be aggressive, be friendly, be neutral. But in the original game they cut all of that. They had experimented with giving them different like emotions or so, but then decided to cut it and just put them on aggressive, so the carnivores tried to kill you at all times. And they also had a mode where they could like attack other animals, other dinosaurs. I believe they still did that to some extent. For example, the Raptors, the two Raptors that spawned together with the Triceratops would attack the Triceratops, and the Triceratops would usually kill them. But in a rare case or so, I've seen the Triceratops be the one that died instead. And then there was a Stegosaurus that sometimes would kill a raptor or so, and then would die. Because they were two, and then there were a Tyrannosaurus that would fight raptors and kill the raptors, just like in the movie. But yeah, it was intended that the dinosaurs would act very realistic, as if they were real animals, but then in the official game it got cut and they were instead put on aggressive mode at all times. And many mods have changed that so that they are more realistic. I don't like that both of them are so close to each other. I don't want to be attacked by two at the same time, which I might be here. I think they can sense me, that's why the other one haven't moved away. like it can sense us, but it has problems moving on the terrain. Would like to kill one at a time.
Six.
I don't know if he hit it, but I think so. That looks dangerous. Problem is we have limited amount of shots here. If we miss, we are dead essentially. So we could essentially save the game again. Bit too far away there. I think I hit one of them. It's falling constantly, but I don't know. He also ran into the trees and get knocked by the physics. Knocked down by the physics there. Having two of them at the same location makes it a lot more difficult. Try to just run past them too. It's probably unlikely to work. There is a cheat in this game where if you jump around you can escape them essentially. I like the realistic sounds. Kind of bugged out and it died. So essentially they I believe in the original game they could even jump like in the movies. They can't do that in the release, but so at least one mod re-enabled the jumping, which made them way more scary. In the original game they were supposed to be able to jump and they attack, and they were also supposed to have different emotions. Oh, it got it. Perfect.
Velociraptors. The killers.
Is there a third one?
About 20.
20, that's really good. I don't think it necessarily died immediately. That might have been this one. So maybe they have enabled the sounds, and they are almost when they are shot and dying, but when it wasn't a clear
2 shots.
shot.
About 20. 2 shots. 2 shots.
Okay, say the game again. So you did defeat them. It would be annoying if you had to redo it. Now we don't know if the creators have added any more surprises. So you can hear on the sound if there are any carnivores. Otherwise we'll finish the first stage soon. Change the gun.
About 20.
20 shots. So in the Isla Zona mod they had made this area connect
This was the
next.
place. This used to be just an urban myth.
The technology, the real trick of it, is still in there. In a darkened room in an empty building with a dirty floor, it waits. The flashpoint, the origin of Jurassic Park.
So essentially when you jump, you move up this thing and then you jump down, then you will have a loading screen and then it will start the next stage, and on a modern computer it will take just a few seconds, but if you had a Windows 95 it would take like 10 minutes before the loading had finished, and then you start the second stage, but on the Isla Zona mode you would just end up on the other side immediately, no loading screen at all. It was more impressive. And then there is the second stage is much larger. I think the first stage was larger too, but the second
Welcome to
stage...
the city of tomorrow.
I can picture them, moving cautiously through the dusty rooms in bulky biohazard gear, clutching rifles, poring over our records, reading our files.
This is some old radio. Let's
2 shots.
Welcome to Site B, an InGen research facility. For centuries, mankind has wondered about the dinosaurs, the largest land animals
Looks like
ever
20.
to have lived. Now, thanks to breakthrough technology...
Alright. So to end this stage, you just need to jump down on the other side. Will trigger a loading screen. However, on the Isla Zona mod we would be able to just jump down and continue, and it was way larger and way less outdated. I mean the hills would have way more trees and vegetation. It looked really impressive. Then you could just finish that stage too, and then you had a new stage, I believe the third stage. It wasn't in the original game, I believe it was a restored stage and they had only done half of it. And I checked the Trescom site recently and it looked like the Isla Zona mod hadn't been updated since 2021. Sadly, so there is no additional stages yet for it. I'd also done some videos on Return to Jurassic Park. It had multiple different betas. I believe the latest beta was the most beautiful one, released in 2020 or so, but then it had like older ones that I believe were more playable. The latest one had like the most impressive terrain and stuff, but the older one had some areas that were fully playable. You just needed to use a cheat to get to the playable areas because it's like a huge mod. Many unfinished areas and you cannot manually move from one area to the other. It's an open world, but because it's unfinished you cannot go there by foot. If you used the sheet to transport you to the next location, you could then end up in areas that were fully playable. For example, that mod is based on the first movie, and you ended up in the area, the research facility, I believe, and it was fully playable. I did some videos there. I did one where I died inside the research facility because there was a raptor there that killed me, and that raptor was pretty cool. It could move on tables and such. And then I believe that I tried to get the T-Rex to hunt me there, but then it crashed, and I hadn't saved. I will need to redo it from the start. We'll see. I tried starting the Lagoon, a different mode, and it didn't have full screen. So I am worried that those mods will not have full screen because I'm playing on a Windows 10 now. My computer is the same computer, but it's updated to Windows 10 back on March 7th, 2025. Back when I played in 2021, it was Windows 7, it worked perfectly, but some of the older games, they have gotten a really small screen since I updated to Windows 10, which is a problem.
Who do they think?
Fuck! We died. Because we failed to jump in time. So when we die, we get this red heart on the breast, and then we just lay here. But if, and we do not get game over, so we will have to quit or load a save. If the dinosaurs kill us, they will actually eat from our body. So we will actually see the raptors or Albertosauruses or T-Rexes. They will actually move down and eat from our body. So this game was intended to be very realistic. And originally the dinosaurs were even more realistic. They had multiple different behaviors, which I think is a great thing, that they can act differently. It's actually like a real animal. And also there were a few modes where they jump. I think the Jurassic Park Dark Secrets, I think, have jumping raptors, which is way more scary. They cannot move. If you move up to a box, for example, they can never hurt you in this version and in the official game because they can't jump. But when you enable jumping, then I imagine they can jump up on boxes and such. It would make the game way more difficult. But that feature was not in the official game. It was in the files. You could re-enable it by editing the files, as modders have done. I don't know if it works with CA though. I know it worked with the other engine that Dark Secrets is using, because they do jump in that mod. It's really cool. Okay, let's load the game, and I might actually have I saved here. I forgot to save. We will need to listen to the narrator again. I thought I had saved before jumping that place, but I didn't for some reason. Okay. Didn't know that.
Looks like 20.
We'll have to save when we are up there after we have listened to the narrator, so you don't have to walk again through the Raptors.
This was the place. This used to be just an urban myth.
The technology, the real trick of it, is still in there. In a darkened room in an empty building with a dirty floor, it waits. The flashpoint, the origin of Jurassic Park.
Two shots. One. Empty. 15 or so.
original game I don't believe I ever had 20 shots or something. I could be wrong. I believe we only had like 8 or so. I don't know.
Welcome to the city of tomorrow.
I can picture them, moving cautiously through the dusty rooms in bulky biohazard gear, clutching rifles, poring over our records, reading our files.
Welcome to Site B, an InGen research facility. For centuries, mankind has wondered about the dinosaurs, the largest land animals ever to have lived. Now, thanks to breakthrough technologies...
Right, we'll save here. So while these areas look very empty now and unimpressive, it was super impressive back in 1998. This was state of the art in 1998. Too much for the computers, but good, we did it. We triggered the loading screen.
I wonder what they left here.
The mysterious John Hammond. Shady investor, multimillionaire, jovial mad scientist.
Try weird psycho old guy.
Jesus. That raptor will kill us. Alright, we will die if it comes any closer. Usually we will take a gun at that box over there behind the raptor and then we'll kill that raptor. That's in the original game, but now it showed up before we had picked up the gun, and we do not keep the weapons that we had in the previous stage. Or on the previous stage, we are dead. You cannot back any further. We have no weapons. They will kill us. Let's see what they did here. I believe this raptor would never move out of that area. There it was. Over there in the past. Seems to have problems moving down the hill for now. I don't know if it can kill us, but it probably can. Even though the dinosaurs have problems moving in certain areas. It can sense the player and tries to kill us, but is constantly hindered by the terrain. Now it will kill us, sure. It left, what? Hopefully it won't come back. Damn, it comes back. We could jump away from it. We are dead. I won't jump because it will be cheating. He will die. There is a cheat where if you jump they cannot catch you. Essentially. It's eating from our body. Kinda like how they eat from the player and you don't get the game over screen. It makes it more realistic and scary when you can see yourself being eaten by the dinosaur after you die. It's literally chugging the flesh of the character. Whatever. Excuse my poor English, I mean, I'm a Swedish guy. But anyway. It was actually unexpected that the dinosaur would come here. It always was on the other side of that, like, box or whatever, but it never would come to this place and kill us. So it would always get to pick up the gun in that box there. Because when you leave the previous stage, you lose your previous weapons, and then you need to go to that box right there, the grey box, and then pick up the gun inside of it, then kill this raptor. But the raptor should have already done that. I waited too long before doing it. And this never happened in the original, I'm pretty sure. And on the Isla Zona mode, when we jump down, it's a part of the same stage. So we would keep all the guns from the previous stage, but because there is a loading screen here, we do not keep our guns. We were totally defenseless against this raptor. We could have tried to run. Of course, if you use the gun cheat, we would have been able to survive, but that ruins the realism and the fun. You like to jump away from a dinosaur. It's a gameplay. It's a gameplay thing if you want to survive without dying. Now it moved away because it had eaten enough. The player, maybe it will come back and eat more. Yeah, it's literally eating us. Swallowing our flesh. Imagine if they made a game like this in, today, with modern graphics and without any censorship, could show away. I always loved how the Raptors were so realistic in this game. Back in '98 it was super realistic. Even though we had an older version of the game. Alright, yeah. Alright, so we died. 3. We tried to kill that raptor. It's on the other side of that wall. It's a shame that because we have a loading screen, we cannot use these guns on it. It's on that side. We need to hurry and take that gun from the box, which is difficult, and it can literally move into this area. I believe it never did when I played it in the past. I think it's been given more freedom to move here, which makes it difficult. That's bad. And I don't like how we don't keep the guns when we leave the area. That's why I like this Isla Zona mode. That would have exact same equipment when we move down. We are not unarmed. But also just try to run away. Then it might follow us. We could go for the locked the locker or whatever, and we risk being killed before we have picked up the gun. The raptor might be closer to us than we think. Could just try to run for it too, but I believe there are other raptors over there. So if you don't have a gun, I think we get a different gun on the way to the other raptors and the stegosaurus, but I don't know if anything has changed. It's not good to be unarmed. obviously. Let's see.
I wonder what they left here.
The mysterious John Hammond. Shady investor, multimillionaire, jovial mad scientist.
Try weird stuff. Oh my. That's it.
Good, thank God, but we lost all the shots now. We have no shots left. Damn. Still alive.